Hey everybody, Philly with Prairie Palms number 7 post-summer update. I brought everything back to the office and I made a video earlier but had to remove it because a lot of the palms had to move from the building and move around and things got changed. So I'm going to do the real update video on everything now that it's all collected and it's all back here for the winter, and show you how it made it through the summer. And I'll still do individual care videos for each one eventually, but right now just the update on how everything did over the summer. And now that it's brought back to my office, my little office here, and also some co-workers on a different floor with some nice beautiful windowed offices agreed to orphan them, foster them, those orphans for the winter. So I'll take the camera up there and we'll show you those two as well, but we'll start here, kind of go left to right, and yeah, we'll let's get to it. So Camadoria Metallica, it stayed in my office, and it's just outside my office in shade and low light for the whole summer, on purpose, to try and push darker colors. You might remember from my last video, this guy came out really fast. He's really pretty, but really green. Let's get rid of that green. Let's get more dark colors looking. Trunk's looking good. And I think I have an inflorescence right there that's going to pop up. And this is the female one, so that'll be another female inflorescence. And maybe one of these two smaller trunks will give me a male, and maybe I can get some seeds from this guy. My Trachycarpus Fortune really took a hit. Well, had problems before the summer. I lost 2 whole fronds in a week to yellowing, and I think it was root rot. And I was keeping it way too wet and not letting it drain, and I didn't change out the drip tray. I missed it for about 2 weeks over the summer, and that was enough to rot 2 fronds. So I quickly got it out of there and cleaned up the roots, pulled it out, and sure enough, there were some black, soggy, rotten roots, and had some white ones, so cleaned it up, put it in this planter, this Tesoro planter from Costco, and put it outside earlier than the other palms. And the wind, our Saskatchewan winds, absolutely did a number on it. It's still juvenile, it's not big, so it can't stand up. The fronds aren't strong enough to withstand high winds, which is what we have in the prairies, obviously, all the time. So my idiot self had it exposed to wind on a regular basis, and then even still, when I saw it was getting broken and bent, I didn't really move it. I didn't care about it much. And honestly, it was like my least favorite palm over the entire summer because it stopped growing as well. It didn't really grow. But the last week of summer, and in the last week since I brought it here, this whole frond is new and is opened up, and it's pushed. You can see I marked it there. And new frond in the middle here, which was a nub back in April, is finally starting to push and open. So I don't know why it went dormant in the sun over the summer. Maybe because of the rot, it needed time to recover, and also the wind wrecked it too, maybe. So my Sciagris Romanzoffiana queen, doing really well, running a ton of water through it to help push the fronds faster. It looks like it grows fast, but it's bigger now, so growth is all like relative to how you kind of like look at it. It's a big tree, so if you want big fronds are still going to take a long time, even if it pushes an inch or 2 a day, right? Like it is like that. I mark these guys, this spear right here pushes probably about an inch a day, and it's still going to take forever to grow and forever to open, probably months. So it already started opening a little bit, but for it to push out completely, yeah, a couple months, I'm sure. But really pretty looking. Did well over the summer. Got some sun damage, some sun scorch, but yeah, grew really steady and really nice looking. My Bismarckia nobilis seedling still, because I still call it a seedling because it's still got its one strap leaf left. I haven't cut it off yet. I could cut it off anytime, but It is going Costa Palmate, and it's getting more and more fronds every time, and looking beautiful. Really slow growing. My buddy Ricky Bobby at Southern Ontario Palms and Tropicals, he's had a 7-gallon for a number of years, and I've been a fan and watching it grow. And yeah, definitely growing slow for him, for sure. Growing slow for me too, but I can't wait till mine gets there. Treenex Radiata, Florida Thatch Palm. Really pretty. When I got it from James at Norfolk Exotics at the beginning of the summer, some existing fronds had some yellowing, yellow spots to them. I don't know if you can kind of see any on these guys. This is the last existing frond from when I got it shipped in the summer. I cut off all the old ones because they didn't look great, but it is pushing new growth, and new fronds come out. But ever since June, 1 frond, 2 frond. That's it. So it is a slow grower, but really pretty. Leaves are thick. Hopefully it stands up to mites here in the office, which of course I'm going to get frequently. So turning around here, another little Cyagrus Romanzoffiana, smaller than big sister over there. Also doing pretty good. Marked spear there. Got oh yeah, fungus gnat flying around in there, of course. Got about 3 inches in 5 days, so that's not too bad. And again, it's gonna take forever, but I'm gonna eventually get a grow light above here and get that down there, because this is a new spot for these guys this year. They weren't here last year. I didn't have any palms in this corner, and I just kept this corner dark in my office. But with the addition of all the palms that I got, some had to go in the corner, and now I need to supplement it with a grow light above there, I think. Camadoria Metallica, my buddy Sandor in Ontario, Sandors Palms. He's got an absolute stunner in his backyard that he's overwintering there. And go to his channel, check it out. My link is in the, put a link in my description there for his channel. Go check it out. Those are my goals. I don't know if mine's never going to get that way in a container and indoors 9 months of the year. You know, it does really well in the summer. Pushes about, I don't know, it's pushed about 5 fronds this whole summer, and it's pushing 2 more inside here. So doesn't really stop growing. It's a nice clumping species. Trunk looks really pretty, and yeah, just needs that grow light above there. I was gifted a parlor palm, Camadoria elegans, from someone in town here who knows I really like palms, and they didn't want this anymore. And it was just simply a gift to me. So I have some smaller ones. You know, I got a smaller guy over there. I have a couple at home as well. They're just the seedlings, but to have a nice, bigger established one is really good. Got a spear that's pushing as well, so can't complain. Really easy to take care of. Obviously, this guy, really low maintenance. My Hyophorbi vercafeltii, the amount of water this guy took over the summer was incredible. You know, we're running water through the container every day. I got it in coco coir and pine bark and perlite. Didn't really need the perlite. It just kind of floated to the top. Seemed like a waste, but pine bark and perlite, pine bark and coco coir run water through it immediately, and it was getting to the roots, and the roots were also getting oxygen. So I was never deal with any rot or anything like that. So still doing great. That is brand new since June. That entire frond was a small spear and pushed and opened up. And this guy right here, I don't know if you can see any growth here, but I marked it right there. And I marked it right there. So that's about 5 inches. Probably faster than the Cyagrus. 5 inches in 5 days. Pretty good. So another nice little 3-gallon here, and yeah, doing really well. Another Camadoria elegans seedlings. These guys are just in coco coir only, nothing else. Littlestone and Shinensis, did did pretty good over the summer. Slow, this guy, and really light lime green because I kept it in higher lighting conditions. And a problem with that also was this frond here was brand new, that's what he looked like back in April. And as soon as I got him outside, he started to grow and open, and I was super excited, and being a stupid fucking idiot, that's how I said thank you, and that's how I treated it, by just letting it scorch. I was really upset with myself. I was telling a couple of the people, you know, my wife was like, "Are you gonna let that scorch? Leave it in the sun?" No, I told her, it's not gonna do that. It can take full sun, no problem. Yeah, not in the spot that I had it. So once it got that scorch, I moved it away to lower light, to try and push more darker green. So that's kind of what new color, kind of what it looks like, and that's it's new frond. That took all summer to open and push. So again, another really slow grower. Hyophorbia liginicalis. See, now I'm getting into like jungle territory here, and it's gonna be hard to like move these to get them to give you guys a good look at how they're doing. But if I can show you here, just anything new. This is all new this summer. This entire frond was a tiny little nub of a spear, so that pushed and opened, and I'm getting this guy right here. So he's also pushing about 1 inch a day, and maybe he'll open for me in the winter, maybe not. This Livingstone chinensis is just 2 in a pot here. This guy is a clumper. He's not a clumper, but they made it into looking like a clumping by putting a bunch of seeds in one pot. So I got 7 individual Chinese fan palms in this one pot. So they'll create a bushier effect, and I also keep it in a little bit of lower light during the summer to try and push more green. So again, really slow, but really pretty. Really like them. My triple Adenity Morelia Christmas palm. Super fast, really bad for mites. It was the only one that got mites outside in the summer. None of my other palms got mites outside, but some got caught on the wind early on, back in May and the beginning of June, and I had to hose it off with a hose, like crazy high-powered water jet streams to get those mites off. If I have this problem here in the office, obviously I can't do that. So mite prevention and mite, controlling infestations is just going to be like a daily thing, and it's going to take probably, rubbing alcohol sprays and, miticides and soapy water and all that garbage to try and keep them under control, because I battle them frequently, obviously, in here. And I got a couple humidifiers, and, keeping room humidity 74 degrees. Relative is 50%. When I run the humidity, or in the humidifier, it pushes it up to 57% in here. But then I'll open the window, I'll open the door to my office to let it all air out and get some air circulation. I also got a box fan to push transpiration and get these guys, evaporating their water, growing more. That's what needs: air circulation and humidity. Needs a combo of both, or it's gonna go dormant and not really do anything for you, or I might even decline too. So last but not least, in this office here is my Washingtonian Filibuster, which double here. I thought was a Robusta at the beginning of the summer when it was a tiny little seedling, but it had way too much fibers. And once the fans started coming out and going Costa palmate and opening up like that, I noticed that there was a really huge gap between, going down really right down to about 50% of segment divide between these guys, which is more than a Robusta. Robusta, will be more complete up here with just little spaces and little segments in between each of the fans. So Filifera is a much more wide open. But what tripped me off to being in a Robusta, again, was Sandor and all those other guys, Ricky Bobby and all those guys, pointing out that, the mix of the maroon and the green and the color of the petioles is what is giving its robusta, sorry, it's a filibuster look and a combo of you know, like a hybrid here. So orange spikes on the petioles, and yeah, finally able to identify it. Growing like a weed. Was a tiny seedling back in February. The trunk at that time was the size of my pinky. So now here, if I can hold that up, that's what that's done since February. So absolute monster, massive growth. Had to put it in this huge planter, taking off like crazy, and had some problems with it before the summer. Had some yellowing, and whatever shock it was in or whatever was happening to it went away, and now it's doing great, and the new fronds are staying healthy. They're not dying and turning yellow like they were before. So now I'll get out of this office and take you over to the foster home for my other babies. Okay, here we are in the casual office here where they've agreed to let me keep some more palms. Sorry for the exposure in here. The light coming through that window is really bright, which is what the palms love, but it's might not do well for the video. So we'll go left to right. The Radiata by Fricata Foxtail doing really nicely over the summer. That's this new frond right here. That's brand new. That was nothing back in March. And that new spear was a sister part of this frond, and that's also brand new. So it was growing like crazy. I had to pump it with water on a regular basis. Really thirsty, more than some of the other palms. And also noticed, it's not a huge deal, but I mean, I am getting a fungal leaf spot on this guy more than some of my other palms. So it could be from me just spraying it and stuff like that and misting it, and all those like water droplets were enough to cause you know, some fungus spores to drop and live. But yeah, still looking beautiful. I'm waiting for mine to get a little bit older, like Ricky Bobby's, and have you know, more drooping leaflets and more multiple leaflets per frond, but still can't complain too much. He's in a great home for the winter. They get morning sun here. This is the morning right now, so won't get any direct afternoon sun, but it'll still be nice and bright in here in this room. Phoenix Robolenii. Got this guy, when did I get him? Last December. These were the existing fronds right here. So this is new since December, and new and dead. So all of that whole crown is pretty much new. Yeah, looking pretty good. Never had any complaints or any problems with it. Didn't have any mealy or mites or scale or anything. And my kids love this one the best because it's so feathery and soft for them to touch, but they also love that it gets a little spiky here on the petioles. So my variegated Raviniravularis that I did a care video on quickly about spider mite prevention, because it was hit with mites not too long ago, and was able to keep the infestation at bay. And now I got it up here in natural light. Before I was in my office where I took that video with a lot of lighting that you know, is overhead LEDs, and you know, things are going to grow slower. So I'm hoping that the natural light is going to help the variegation remain. That you know, keeping it in a lower light, any variegated plant in lower light, it's going to want to survive and want to push out more green as opposed to more white. So can't beat that though. Look at that, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Two-tone. I don't know if you can see in the light there, two-tone color. Got a mix there, half and half, beautiful. Doing really well. Again though, the variegated one, it's a double in here. The variegated one is the smaller one, and honestly I've been thinking about just killing the bigger one so that this guy can shine and grow bigger, because I don't want the big guy to choke out this smaller variegated one. I don't give a shit about this big guy actually. I'm just scared about the little smaller one, but I don't want to kill the big one if it's going to also like make the little one decline. So I'm a bit torn. If you guys have any suggestions on how I can, I'm not going to cut this thing open. I'm not going to rip it apart and destroy roots just so I can separate them. But whatever I can do to keep this little guy alive, and if this big guy dies and goes away, that's just perfectly fine with me. Smaller triple Adenity Morelia, like one in my office downstairs. This guy was a gift from Tyler Palloy and Stephen James at Rooted Landscaping here in Regina. If you guys are passing through Saskatchewan, passing through Regina, Broad Street, Rooted Landscaping, beautiful houseplant store. They got everything in there. They bring these guys in for the summer and sell them to wealthy clients in the city for their pools and stuff like that. And they got almost all rid of all their stock, but couldn't sell this guy. And they called me and they said, "We know you love palms, and we want to give this guy to you if you will help keep it alive and make it thrive." So that's what I'm doing. I'm happy to do it. What's new since I got it about a month ago? This is really only a month old. This frond opened up. It was completely closed, so he's happy here in the window, and this guy as well. Again, those spider mite magnets, Adenitias, so I'm gonna have to keep a real close eye on him. My Radiata metis, in my care video #1, Prairie Palms #1, I was pointed out this. It was honestly one of my favorite palms, and it really still is. A tragedy happened to it. Again, me being really stupid this summer about wind and trying to keep palms from blowing over. I didn't make enough of an effort. I had this guy on a stand, just like that. It's on a stand right now. But I had him open and not up against anything else, and wind toppled him end over end. When I heard what happened and I came outside, I found him literally upside down with the fronds almost bent in half on the ground because of the weight of the pot. I thought the whole thing was done. I was in near tears. And what had happened, actually, I pulled it right now, but I don't know if you can see in here in this guy, because this is a clumping species, but this was a single trunk right here. From this trunk, I had a new spear coming out, and he got bent and started to rot in there and die. So I don't know if I'm going to lose this entire trunk right here to rot, but if I do, it's my own stupid fault. The other ones are growing. New spears are pushing on that one. New spears are pushing right there too. So I have not too much to complain about. And other than that, the palm is doing great. But it's just so dumb. As long as you protect it, you're not going to have any problems. I wish I could have heeded my own advice. Last in this room is little Dipsis lutescens that I saved from a clump that was dying, and I put him in its own pot, and I thought he was going to die too because he lost all of his fronds. I did a video on him in the summertime. He's growing now and opening, and I'm hoping to keep this nice little cute single Dipsis lutescens at some point. So, all right, that's it for this room, guys, and last two on the list are going to be my Ravini Rivuleris in the other room there. Okay, guys. Last on the list, and honestly the ones I ruined the most this year with sun damage. Two Ravini Rivuleris that I've had for a long time. Really ancient, and didn't have any sun problems with them before, but this year I got careless and scorched them. So I really am not a fan of the way the summer went. Not only was it short, but I put stuff out too soon in April and got some scorch. And then, the summer ends in middle of August. I mean, what are you gonna do? It was just not a great season. But I'm happy to get these guys back inside. I'll rehab them, but I'm gonna lose, I'll cut off this frond. I'll probably lose another frond, but I really did a number Don't do this, guys. Don't do this. This is all sun scorch. And what happened was, when they went into scorch, it put them into shock and dormant, and normally the spear would have been growing like crazy in the summer. Didn't do anything. That stayed dormant, and that stayed dormant. So hopefully they'll grow now that they're inside and happy. But you know, like what a waste. I honestly, I feel like I killed two of my biggest palms that were hard to take care of indoors as it is. They're extremely water hungry and needy, and I thought I was doing a good job. I was doing a good job, but light will do it. Direct sunlight will scorch them if you haven't acclimated. That's what it looks like. Anyways, guys, peace out.